welcome on in at the half here of our first game of the 2019 season. Can't believe football's already here. Tyler Trumbauer alongside Mike Iannacci with you, Mike. And obviously one half of football into the season already, but let's take a look at the season as a whole, not only for the KU Golden Bears, but also for the PSAC at large coming up this year. It's a new year for the PSAC, entering a new era as well, entering in a new member into the conference with Shepherd out of West Virginia, and they're going to slot right into the PSAC Eastern Division and certainly are going to wreak some havoc, especially during football season.
They are, and we'll see what kind of addition Shepherd's going to be. I mean, this is a strong program coming in. There's travel concerns, teams going to West Virginia, Shepherd traveling to putting them in the East and things like that. The interesting stat that jumps off the paper me with Shepherd, because the way the PSAC is set up, is last year they only gave up 158.9 passing yards per game. In the pass-happy PSAC, how will that translate? But that is a strong program to bring them to the East is going to be a challenge.
And they're certainly, regardless of their stats and how their style of play is, a lot of the coaches in the conference think they'll fit in just fine. They were slotted second in the preseason poll in the Eastern Division, behind the defending champion Westchester in the division, and then the Kutztown Golden Bears, number 3, Mike. So your thoughts on the top 3 in that poll? And I mean, it's kind of basically what it's been. Westchester, KU at the top. Those two, that game always circled on the calendar, and then now Shepherd throwing a wrench in there as well.
Westchester's just a known quantity in the PSAC. They won another 16th league title. That's the league leading in terms of PSAC championships for Westchester last year. Surprisingly, really handling Slippery Rock in the championship game. 33-10 was the score. Bill Swan does a great job down there. It's kind of a program you just can count on to be towards the top, and usually it's a team just has to play their very best to beat them. They don't lose any more than like one conference game a year. They're just an incredible program down there. And now you're talking about Shepherd coming in, 2 Rams up at the top of the East. They will battle in Shepherd, West Virginia on the 19th of October. That's a game to watch that I'm circling on the PSAC schedule.
Certainly one of the marquee games on the docket throughout the 2019 season, and that's the PSAC, the Eastern Division. Of course, Westchester, the odds-on favorite. Shepherd, one of the top 15 teams in all of Division II football, as Mike said, over the last several years, a team to watch as well. But the Golden Bears certainly have a fighting chance. A lot of key returners back this year. Mike, let's take a look at the Golden Bears. First, I mean, obviously, the top storyline is how you're going to replace Craig Reynolds now in the National Football League and off to great things in the professional ranks, but he's going to leave a big hole to fill, not only just out of the backfield rushing, but also receiving, on punt returns. I mean, he was a key player in several phases of the game.
Right, you had to account for Craig on the offensive side of the ball, but also, as you mentioned, on special teams, because sometimes he would go back and return kicks also. But what I liked last year with the attack is, with Craig there were other people that stepped up as the year goes on. Another key player that's going is Connor Sullivan, a nice underneath receiver. But a guy to look at, number 42, Jack Pilkerton, down the seam, made a lot of big catches as the year goes on. Last year with their success, and Abdul Hassan Neblet, who I believe on every carry could take it the distance.
Neblet now a captain of one of the 4 captains for the 2019 team this season, and you'd mentioned Jack Pilkerton. Maybe some defenses forgot about him up the seam when they were so worried about having eyes in the backfield on Reynolds. And speaking about that backfield, the quarterback position, we saw almost a hybrid situation, or a platoon, if you will, between Colin DeGalbo and Eric Nickel. And going into this year, you have 2 viable options under center for the Golden Bears.
Right, Eric was very strong coming in for Colin. Colin is just a weapon you cannot, from his very first game at Millersville, when Coach Hecht pulled us aside on the sidelines, said he's a little bit of a gunslinger, he's going to take some chances, and that has been very true. And he gives you a variable to your offense you really can't prepare for, because at a moment's notice, he could take off that read option and go the distance too, but he also can throw the ball downfield. I think it's always good to have a strong backup, and Eric was that last year, came in, and this team went 9-2 last year, so they didn't have many hiccups in the season.
Certainly, and looking to improve on that record here this year, Mike. What are some other players, maybe newcomers or people that may be stepping into larger roles this year, that you're looking for to kind of maybe have a breakout season this fall?
Well, I think there's a lot of spotlight. There's a lot of preseason talk about a Cox Cowan in the secondary. That was the key thing with that defense last year, is they could take the ball away, make that interception, and get the ball back to the offense. So I'm going to look again to that secondary. Up front, the offensive line is solid, led by Captain Matt Sella, one of the quad captains this year. So anytime you get that line returning, that's a good start. Defensively, I think really getting that ball back to that offense is going to be key. And I think we have a secondary that can go get the ball and get it back.
Certainly, and another few new names you'll be hearing throughout the season is on the coaching staff as well. The Golden Bears with new offensive and defensive coordinators here in the 2019 season. So head coach Jim Clements will have some new signal callers here on the sidelines as they go through the 2019 season. So it's going to be a good one. A lot of new things in the Eastern Division. ESU with a new coach, a new team with Shepherd as well. The Golden Bears will have their hands full each and every week, Mike. That is for certain, no matter who they're playing.
You like East Stroudsburg. You got your eyes on East Stroudsburg with Jimmy Terwilliger. I have my eyes out on Shippensburg. Bryson Messina, the quarterback, the son of Hall of Famer Mike Messina, set all kinds of records. East Freshman of the Year, quarterback out there, great receiver out there in Shippensburg. I'm keeping my eye on Shippensburg this year.
It's going to be an interesting season, and we hope you join us for the ride, as it's going to be a fun time to watch a lot of KU Golden Bear football this season. Speaking of the action, let's get back to it here. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more KU Golden Bear football after this. Don't go anywhere.